Hi everyone, so as you know, Bitcoin's price has been a bit all over the place and it's been manipulated in quite a number of ways. Now many of you would have heard that this is down to the Wyckoff method, and today's video we're going to go through shortly and briefly, so not to jargon everyone, how the Wyckoff method works and how it's been applying to today's price, and we're going to compare it to today's daily chart for the Bitcoin price. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of the 4 phases. There's 5 phases, but we're just going to, I don't believe we're in the 5th phase yet. So we're going to go through phase A, B, C and D. And I'm going to explain a little bit about what the acronyms mean on the chart from the Wyckoff chart and how and where they played out in the Bitcoin chart. Now this will leave it open to debate for a lot of people on the channel if you agree with this or if you don't agree with this. And also we're going to see where we see Bitcoin's price going from here, because for me it's in a crucial time decision where it's either going to break the Wyckoff trend or it's going to continue on for the Wyckoff pattern, and we're going to see Bitcoin get rejected and move more to the downside. I personally am not bearish on this. I'm more for the bullish scenario, but we're going to go through both today anyway. So if you want to know more about this Wyckoff chart and how it's playing out in today's Bitcoin price and chart, stay tuned and let's get into the video. So today we're not really going to go into great detail on this, but I'm just going to show you how I've drawn on the Bitcoin chart where I think the stages are A, B, C and D in the Bitcoin price chart today. I've drawn these up on my own trading view chart, and I've sort of looked at the analysis from the support lines that Wyckoff said had in this plan to the resistant lines Wyckoff said had in this plan, and sort of pictured them where I feel it's been happening within the Bitcoin market in the past 6 months. Now obviously you might not agree with this or you might agree with this, but for me it's great insight, and you can actually see on the chart a great number of these acronyms and these things, which I will go through quickly in the video, have been playing out. And this is in order for the smart money to stop robbing the dumb money, as they call it, or the retail money, and hopefully Bitcoin will stop getting as manipulated, or if it does, we can be a little bit ahead of the game. So let's jump into the chart and see where this Wyckoff pattern has been playing out. So we'll go into the acronyms and stuff like that, but here I've done the phases A, B, C and D, and this is all down to the same Wyckoff chart pattern that we've seen many a times. And I can just quickly jump to the Wyckoff chart pattern, and here you can see here we've got the phase A, B, C, D and E, but I don't think E's played out yet. So today we're just going to run through phase A in the distribution schematic and phase B, C and D, and then you can tell me if you agree with what I've said and where I've put my kind of pinpoints for the acronyms. So obviously if you're not familiar with the Wyckoff chart, you're not going to know what these distribution acronyms mean. So I'm just going to go through them as I talk about the phase. So in phase A we had the PSY, which is the preliminary supply stage, which is where large interest has begin to unload shares in quantity after a pronounced up move or volume expands. So this is where it's putting coins into the market, or there's been a bit of news or something that's made the preliminary supply shoot up. Now this goes into then what's called the peak, and you'll see here these are resistance lines, and this brought then the peak, which is the buying climax, during which is often marked as an increased volume and spread. So obviously we had the supply, it went in, we had the buying climax, and this is where we had our first kind of crash, and this went all the way down to the automatic reaction. So the automatic reaction is a stage where intense buying has diminished after the BC phase, so the buying climax and the sort of volume or the buying interest in the market has diminished, and it's called the automatic reaction in Wyckoff's chart. So this is where the automatic reaction happened. Now this then obviously bounced off the support line, which I've drawn in here. Obviously we had the resistance line where the buying climax hit, and we've got the support line where the automatic reaction sort of finished. Now, I'm a firm believer of the bodies of the candle. So with the bodies of the candle, we had the buying climax here, I've done it at the body, and we've had the automatic reaction here, which the buying interest obviously fell out here. And I like to just put them on the body of the candle, and I don't know, some people like to do the wicks, but anyway. So then we go on to a phase. Now, I have not put it in here because obviously we then just shot straight up, whereas Wyckoff Chart shows, and if I just jump back to it quickly here, you'll see it's what's called the secondary test. Now, Bitcoin, if you have a look in the price chart, didn't have a secondary test. It really just went a bit parabolic, and we had a lot of news and stuff like that, and Bitcoin just shot up to reach a bit of a higher climax. So, you know, so this is called the upthrust. So it really had its upthrust here, and I don't think we really seen the secondary test. We just really went into the UT stage, which I'm not sure if everyone agrees, but obviously the chart's saying that we really did just go into the upthrust. Now, once we had that upthrust, and you'll see from the chart here, and also you'll see from Wyckoff Chart, you have sort of like kind of like a sow phase. You have a bit of up and down where it sort of bounces in this channel, and that's exactly what happened on the Bitcoin chart. It sort of bounced in this channel. It was not really going down to support lines here, but it more or less done a support line at this kind of all-time high here, and we sort of bounced in this channel. We did have some little corrections here through market manipulation and stuff like that, but you know, we sort of bounced in this kind of channel, which was at the time everyone was so bullish in the market, and we were sort of I don't know, apart from here. Now, I've not put it in here, but you'll see SOW here. Wyckoff has it on his chart, the sow phase, which is sign of weakness. So the sign of weakness phase here, which is obviously going up, it's designed to do kind of like a pump or a bear trap here. And this was where, if you remember back when we was getting all excited here, and we was laser eyes and stuff like this, so there was a lot of excitement, a lot of FOMO in the market. There was extreme greed on the measure scale here, and this is where this sign of weakness hit here, and then out of this sign of weakness we came into what's called the I don't know if you'll call it a bear trap, but it was this is where all the kind of influence and the news hit, and everything just went parabolic. And then obviously once we got to that stage where the upthrust after distribution, so this was distribution here, everyone's putting it in, and the counterpart, which is the spring of terminal, which is designed to shake out after an accumulation. So obviously after accumulation, we're designed to shake out obviously the weekends, and this is where we had this kind of crash here. Now this one was quite big, but no one was panicking at this stage. We had a crash here, and everyone was a bit downbeat, but we were still quite euphoric, and we're still quite bullish. And obviously we just hit this all-time high on Bitcoin, and we were presuming that every time we was hitting all-time highs here we was having a bit of a correction down. So this seemed normal, just a little extended. But what this was now, obviously we're looking back at the chart, and we're looking at this, people shaking it out. So people or the smart money had built it up euphoric here, and they'd shaken it out kind of here, and then this then hit a bottom. It didn't really go to support lines, but it wasn't far off. Remember, we had the support line down here in the kind of February March area, and we didn't really hit support line here. So this is where we went up to the LPSY stage, which is the last point of supply. So after testing on the sign of weakness, the feeble rally of the narrow spread shows that the last point of supply before it starts dumping down into the sign of weakness, which is really where they shake out all the weak hands, they cash out all the longs. The bears really take over here and liquidate the longs, and everything just sort of shot down into this capitalization phase. Now, I know a lot of people call this consolidation phase, but obviously in the smart money we call it capitalization phase. And we're also obviously shot into the last point of supply in this kind of area. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting. In here we have a look at the last point of supply here on this pump, and the last point of supply in these kind of support areas, these support lines, as well as the sign of weakness when Bitcoin's price wouldn't really move. So as you can see here, there was signs of weakness here, signs of weakness here, and definitely a sign of weakness here. And this is when obviously out of nowhere we had that bit of a rally, a bit of a relief rally on Bitcoin, where Bitcoin then hit up to 40,000k. Now this is why I've drawn this box around here on this capitalization phase. And this is where Bitcoin now can do one of two things. It can either continue on the Wyckoff method and shoot down, and we start going into what's called Wyckoff phase E, which I've not put on here. And we'll see now lower dumps on Bitcoin, and then it'll find a bottom, and then we'll start doing a U-turn onto the upside. Or, and I must say to everyone, this is my favorite and my preferred. I mean, no one's got a crystal ball. This is definitely not financial advice, but this is my favorite, my preferred method. And I've just literally was looking at this chart today, and what it is I think Bitcoin is going to break the trend. I think Bitcoin here is going to test these support lines here, and I've always said this, even on my other Bitcoin charts. When we look at the Bitcoin price here, I've always had these kind of resistant levels, and I think Bitcoin's bouncing nicely on the moving average here, which is the 50-day moving average, and this is going to not then act to support for Bitcoin, and the price is consolidating, and this is where it hits resistance. Now if we have a look back on the chart, this is where the resistance is, and it's showing where the resistance is for Bitcoin, and you can see the price here, and it's playing out exactly where the bottom of this line was and the sort of top of this was, and this is where the point of supply and the ARR. So if Bitcoin break through these two, what are now, they were support lines on this old grand scheme of things, but now they're sort of like resistance lines. So Bitcoin breaks through these and continues on the uptrend, Bitcoin's going to do what's called a reverse trend on this Wyckoff scheme. Now there could be one or two things that I really want to emphasize this quickly. From being a smart money trader, like following how the smart money trades in for many years now on the forex market, on the FX market, this could be one or two things. This could be designed to do this, and it could be like a fake out, a bear trap to make people euphoric again, to sort of, you know, accumulate the last bits of money in the market. They could be selling, get everyone in the market. The smart money could be sort of trapping out to sort of get everyone going long again, get everyone sort of buying Bitcoin and put all the longs back in. And then what they could do is they could sort of reject this phase here, or they could even reject a key level, psychological level, and this is why I point it here, would be 50,000 for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin gets rejected from anywhere between the 47 and the 50,000 mark, we could see what's called a fake out of these. The trend doesn't get reversed, and then we start seeing the phase E play out. So the reason I've put all this together, and I'll put all this on my socials, this chart for everyone to see, is just for everyone to be mindful. Because as I say on my videos time and time again, is I do not like the retail guy, the average guy, the what I call the cool investors, you know, the cool kids on the block, the people that just get into this without big monies behind them, that probably need this money to better their lives and stuff like that. I hate them getting wrecked, and I hate people taking money off them. You know, we're in this together. I've been wrecked in the past. Everyone, I'm sure, paid, like I used to say, paid their initiation fee to get into crypto by losing money when you first started out. And I know I've done that, and I know a lot of great people have done that on the crypto space and on the YouTube space. But this is just my view. Like I say, it's not financial advice. And if you you have an opinion on it, please leave the comments, commenting below, or share your feedback with me. I'm open to anything, you know. I don't mind criticism. You got to remember, I'm one guy trading in my preferred methods of trading, and I use my technical analysis in my preferred methods, and I see things play out. I do a lot of calls, and I'm not 100% successful, but I'm a very cautious trader. A lot of the people know I like the volume spread analysis, which shows about the smart money. As you can see in my charts here, this area here is all my VSA volume charts, and here you can see where it's the ultra high volume with the smart money coming in to manipulate the market. So this is where I build all this from, and this is where I sort of get this vision from. So I'm happy to put this out there, if you know, for people to look at, comment on. You got to remember, nothing's criticism, everything's healthy debate and stuff like that. You know, you'll have your view on this and I'll have my view. I'm bullish. I always have been bullish, because I think, obviously, because of the manipulation and because of the FUD and because of everything everyone's tried to throw at crypto, I think the Wyckoff method is probably played out a little bit too early. This phase B should have been a lot longer, if you ask me. So should have phase A. Phase A should have gone in really into most of phase B, and phase B should have outclipsed C and D, if you ask me. This whole thing would have happened. No one's denying that, and now we can see it. It is actually playing out, but I just think the whole thing would have been on a much bigger scale. Now, let me know in the comments if you agree. And also, please subscribe and like and hit that bell notification to support this video, and we'll keep doing these technical analysis and these great cool rundowns. So that's pretty much it from today, because I just wanted to do a quick video with the Bitcoin price being such a crucial area at the moment, that I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of what was going on, or what I think's going on, and how it's playing out onto this Wyckoff chart method that everyone's sort of been hearing about and definitely seen over the past few weeks and months since Bitcoin started getting manipulated and the price started going all over the place. So like I say, I'll leave a link to my socials in the comments, down below, and also what I'll do is I'll put that chart available on my socials. It'll be on Twitter and it'll be on Instagram for everyone to see. It'll probably be on Facebook as well, although the Facebook page is just being set up at the moment, just so you've got it for reference and you can see if it's playing out, or which area it's going to play out. Obviously, like I said just before I leave, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. I think the trend's going to get reversed. I don't think the smart money is going to try and shake everyone out now. I think they've done all their capitalization phase and accumulation, and we should start seeing now Bitcoin start rising up a bit. I think there will be retests along the way and there will be a bumpy road, but obviously a chart that we're not looking at the moment, but if we look at Bitcoin's yearly chart back over the past since 2013 or even before, you'll see that the kind of first leg of Bitcoin's dominance has always been quite high, and we've not seen no really high dominance at this moment, compared to and when I say high dominance, I mean blow off tops. And we've sort of seen kind of news, FUD and FOMO pumps, but we've not seen what I would consider a blow off top. So I'm still bullish, and I genuinely think Bitcoin on this bull cycle has got 90 to anywhere between the region of 90 and 140,000 in it, and you know, the 90s being very conservative and the 140s being very hopeful. So somewhere in the middle of that would be happy days for everyone. And as a bonus, our altcoin season just on the way up for good measures and to fill everyone's bag. But fingers crossed, who knows. But I hope this chart was very informative for you. Again, this is just education purposes, not financial advice. And please, 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 as always, trade smart, trade safe, and don't get wrecked.